what do you do when there's short time left? There's only 30 seconds or so left on the clock, and you're either down by points and need to score, or you're up by points and you want to hold your lead to win the match. Let's get right to it. First thing we're going to talk about is when you're down by points. There's around 30 seconds or so left on the clock. You're down by points, you have to score. First, we'll deal with the neutral position. When you're in the neutral position, some key things I'm trying to do is, one, attack often. A common mistake wrestlers will make when they're down by points is in that 30 seconds, they're looking for one attack. So they're hand fighting and they're just looking. They're just waiting and waiting and waiting. And as the time passes by, they've got 20 seconds left and then 10 seconds left. And then they shoot and they get stopped and then the match is over. You've got to give yourself a lot of attacks. Now, you do want to set each shot up, maybe a few seconds. If you just kind of shoot without the setup, it's kind of easy to stop it. So you'll set it up a little bit in between each attack attempt. But if there's 30 seconds left, like right away I might go, boom. And then I'm hand fighting a little bit more, and then, boom. And I still maybe haven't got it yet. I'm hand fighting more, and I'm, boom, back in. And then you get the takedown, all right? So the first tip, short time left in offense, attack immediately. And again, and again. At least get a stalling call. Like, especially if you're trying to get a stalling call, you will not get called for stalling by just going into him and the person backing up. This will not cause a stalling. You need to be shooting into the guy. I have no idea if that was in camera or not, but I'll show that again. You need to be shooting into the guy. You need to be shooting and attacking if you want to get your opponent called for a stalling call, okay? So my first tip again, if you're down by points, is attack, definitely more than once, and do it as early as possible, especially if you're looking for stalling calls. And then the second little point is, do set up each shot. So like, shoot, boom, you get your first attack attempt. Now start hand fighting a little bit, clear some stuff off, moving them a little bit, go again. Then do that again until you get that takedown, right? And hopefully you get a takedown or at least a stalling call, all right? Another very important thing, if you want to get the stalling call, if you push the guy to the out of bounds, so say this yellow line right here is the out of bounds, you have to get them out of bounds. You cannot allow them to circle back in. So if I bring someone to the out of bounds line and short time left and I'm really looking for stalling, whether it's short time or not, a lot of times it ends up being short time where you're looking for these stalling calls, but I need to shoot him out of bounds. I cannot allow my partner to circle back in. So if I shoot and he circles back in and he walks back to the center of the mat, there's 10 seconds left. I don't got that time anymore. It's similar to basketball where when there's short time left, or not basketball, football, where the clock's running, you need to go out of bounds, right? To stop the clock. So if we're here and there's short time left, whether I'm on a leg or not, I may use that out of bounds to stop the clock or to force the stalling. So I do not want to allow my partner to circle back in. If I'm here, all right, I'm going to shoot him out and make sure he does not circle back in. I'm going to stay wide. If he goes in circles one way, I'm going to shuffle with, I'll shuffle with him. I'll shuffle with him. I'll shoot him out. My head is up. I'm not like diving down to the floor too. So my shot is a little bigger. My body's kind of bigger as I shoot. I'm a little wider. I'm not like diving for like a low shot where he can down block and circle back in. I'm making myself big so he can't circle back in. Okay? It's another tip with neutral. So tip number 2, use that out of bounds line. Maybe you have to have the clock. Maybe you want the clock to stop. Maybe you don't want the clock to stop. Right? If there's 5 seconds left and you're in on a shot and maybe you're on your knee here and you're towards the out of bounds here, pull them back. 5 seconds left, pull them back in and then jump on. You know, don't allow them to use the out of bounds to have the match stop, okay? Now, going down to another position. So that's neutral. In general, I think the biggest mistake people do is they don't shoot often enough. They don't attack often enough when there's short time left, okay? For bottom, okay? Short time left, I need the escape. I always preach that the tripod stand-up is so good. I love the tripod stand-up. It's such a good way to escape, but it's slow. Like a tripod stand-up might take 10 or so seconds. Like it takes some time here. Boom. You know, this takes time to kind of work out of that position. And it's easier for people to kind of reduce and stall out. So what I'll do is I need an explosive move. In addition to my tripod stand-up, I need something explosive. I'll give you a couple options. My favorite is a changeover, but I definitely think it's just a personal favorite. You can use Granby roll. You can use like sit-out hip heist. You can try an explosive stand-up. But if there's short time left, I'm going for a move that's explosive that allows me to get the escape quickly. And a tripod stand-up is not a quick escape. So my favorite one is a changeover. Whatever hand is on the elbow, that hand reaches forward and across. As I rotate my outside leg up, I swing my leg through and hit my opposite hip. And if I'm close to hitting a switch, I'll just use this hand to grab the leg. If not, I'm just rotating up and getting my escape there. You know, but if I know, hey, the coach is like, hey, short time left, you've got to go. We've got to move now. You know, the traditional tripod stand-up or inside leg stand-up, it's too slow. We got to move. So it's like, ready, go. And working out just like that. Granby roll is not bad too. That kind of happens a lot of times in transition. You know, I might go like even if I went for my changeover, boom, I go for my changeover, and he keeps following me. All right, and then I hit the Granby. So a lot of times I like using the Granby roll in transition. I'm normally not doing the Granby roll like right when the whistle blows. Like I'm normally not going like step, step, and hitting it because I think it's a little easy to stop, especially if they go to like chop or spiral right away. So say like you go chop right away, like ready, go. Like sometimes you'll just get stuck. So I like using the Granby roll in transition. Another little point I want to make is this. A lot of time coaches say, move on bottom. Move, 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 move more. Roll, sit, go, go, go. They use a lot of that kind of terminology or whatever. They're pushing their athlete to move a lot. In general, I don't actually like that way of getting out. I like stay in good position. Don't let them get anything. Work out. I like making progress without slowly making progress. So I don't care how fast it happens, but I want to just keep making progress until I get my escape. A lot of times, a lot of movement allows openings for you to get turned. It also makes you very tired. But scratch that when there's short time left. 10 seconds left, you got to move, man. You've got to move, right? You can do different stuff. You can go sit out. Boom, you're moving. You're tripoding up. You're Granby rolling out. You're trying, you know, another little thing, you know, you could go for that hip heist I talked about, you know, sit out, sit out, sit out, whoa. Hip heist. So when you're on bottom, if you traditionally like to do the tripod like I do and I teach my athletes, you need to have something for short time. Short time on the clock, let's go, move, sit out, roll, Granby. Normally the changeover is my favorite. Switch could be an option, but a switch is the same thing as a changeover, just going for the reversal. So if you need a reversal, then get the reversal. That's another thing too. Short time left, how much are you down by points? Right, are you down by 2 points? Well, an escape's not gonna help, get the reversal. Right, if you want a reversal, some options you might have are the switch, right? I come here similar to the changeover, I'm just grabbing the leg, switching, getting my reversal there. If you can get them to throw a leg in, I like hitting leg reversals on bottom. Like I come here and go leg reversal. You can force a Western hook. You know, you can force a Western hook and Western hook counter. All these techniques are in my bottom escapes video. So you can definitely get into more detail on them. But I'm kind of focusing on the type of mindset you need when there's short time left. But that's my focus on bottom. On top, short time left. And I need to score points. Now, if I just have to, we'll talk about up later, actually. Right now, we're focusing on your down by points. So I'm on top. I think cradles work really well. A lot of times, the bottom person is going to stall out, so going for your regular series on top is really tough with short time left. Like, whether you like tilts, bars, or legs, short time left, it's easy for Will to kind of stall out and like stop everything. So I'm probably going to cut the person. I'm going to cut the person with short time left. Again, how much are you down by? All right, I'm down by 1 point. I'll probably fully cut him. But watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay on him. When you cut somebody, you want to keep your hands on your opponent because it takes time to close the distance on an opponent and to hand fight to your tie-up. So if you are going to cut somebody with short time left because you need a takedown to win or tie it up or whatever the case might be, I'm going to already get into my tie-up. Like say if you like inside tie, I'm already here. By the time he comes up, I'm in my inside tie. The ref gives the 1 point, and I'm ready to go. If you like a Russian tie, when you cut him, you're already coming to this Russian tie position. You can't spend 10 seconds from the open, closing the gap, hand fighting to your tie-up, especially when they're just trying to stall, right? I'll show you another one. If you like underhook, same thing. You go to cut them, your shoulder's already dropping to here. You're already going to that underhook position, okay? So short time left, in general, I'm going to cut the person. If you're down by more points where you need to actually turn the person, so what would be the case? Like, you're down by 1 point, cut them, because you need the takedown. Because when you cut them, you'll be down by 2. You get the takedown, you win. You're down by 2 points, cut them, because when you let them go, we're talking about a takedown being 3 points. That's for high school and college now. You're down by 2 points, you let them go, you're down by 3, takedown ties it. So I would still cut them there. Now you're down by 3 points. If you're down by as much as the takedown is worth, so if you're in middle school and you're down by 2, or you're in high school and college, you're down by 3, we're trying to put the person to their back, okay? So I will still cut them, or there's a couple techniques you can do to get quick backs. I will still cut them. I like to do cradles or DJs off of a cut. So I'll cut him, but I'll keep him down more, and then as he steps up, I'll snag a cradle here. So I'm cutting him. As I see him step up, I'm swinging to a cradle and trying to finish there. If he stays on his knees and more reaches an arm up to kind of like that or something. If he goes there, I probably can't hit the move. A lot of times what they'll do is like, I'll actually turn this way a little bit. I'll try to recreate the position. I'm cutting him, and he goes to reach his arm up. I hit this DJ immediately. So if he already gets my wrist, it won't make sense. I'll probably go for a cradle. But let's do this arm just so people can see. As the arm reaches up to maybe grab my wrist, that's when I'm literally just punching a DJ. The free hand goes to the underhook. The other hand that's on the back of the neck goes to the chin. You're just like literally punching to it. Because you got to have a move that's like jumping right to it. You can also just circle out front and like force that DJ position. So again, we're dealing with short time left. You're down by as much as a takedown is worth. And I'm only saying that because middle school's 2 and high school's 3. So I spin out front. Hey, I'm down by 3 points. I'm in high school. I need to get him to his back. I circle out front. Boom, I'm wrestling here. I'm trying to go DJ. I'm trying to go assassin. I'm trying to go gator roll. All right? That is how I play top with short time left. So if you're down by more points, or if you're down by less points than a takedown, so you're down by 1 or 2 points, we're cutting them, but we're keeping our hands on them. Don't let them break free. And then immediately start going for your attacks. If you're down by 3 points, as much as a takedown is worth, we're trying to pin them. I'm going to cut them. I'm going to look for a cradle. I'm going to look for them to reach an arm up and go DJ. I might circle out front and just start trying to hit the DJ or the gator roll to get the back points. I've seen people do this too. You know, they start like optional. You can do an optional start if you're down by points and short time left. You can go optional, all right? And then I see people try to jump right to a cradle when it happens. All right, I see people jump to a side headlock and try to pull the guy back. I'll be careful here and just try to throw legs in and get back points. One of my wrestlers, Trevor, tries to do that a lot. So there's other sneaky ways to kind of get back points quickly. But again, a lot of times that traditional working for an armbar, working for a 2-on-1 is just not gonna, it's gonna be too slow. Another thing you can try to do is just start neutral. So say if you went out of bounds and there's short time left, if you just need the takedown, it sometimes is worth starting neutral because this takes like a lot of time. What I mean is, we went out of bounds, there's 30 seconds left. This is a specific scenario. You need the takedown to tie it up or win. If I start on top, this takes time cutting them. You know, 1 second, 2 seconds, stay on the knees, 3 seconds. He just stays there too. 4 seconds, 5 seconds. It's taking time. He starts standing up. 6, 7. You wasted 10 seconds before he even got to his feet. So a lot of times I recommend if you go out of bounds and you're on top and you need the takedown, just show the ref neutral and start on your feet. I think you have a better shot. You have a little bit more time to get that takedown. Now going to if you're up by points. All right, now we're up by points, we're in neutral, we're gonna go through each of the positions. How do we stall out almost? How do we control the match and make sure we win when we're up by points? My biggest advice for neutral is get to a control tie. So, in general, I'm gonna try to hand fight to a tie-up I like to be in. I'm gonna stay in a good stance, I'm gonna get to a tie-up I like to be in, because once I get to like an underhook, say, underhook wrist, especially if I control both sides of the body, Will is not taking me down. And it's going to take him a lot of time, which we're trying to kind of take up to get out of these positions. I'm tying him up. I'm grabbing a tie on one side, a tie on the other. You know, double underhooks. You know, underhook wrist. I like underhook wrist, double underhooks. Little scary because he has double overs and he can do certain things, throw me. So underhook wrist, inside tie wrist, elbow wrist. Getting the wrist on one type and then the wrist is super tough for your opponent to attack here. He's gonna have to let go, clear the wrist off before he even goes to anything. Then you're back on his wrist. Okay, Russian tie is great. The only move they don't have many moves from here. The only moves that I've seen people hit offensively from a Russian tie are like the 360 spin move, so where they spin this way and they try to double you. Sometimes I see people use this foot to hook in there, yep. So there's only a couple options they have, so it's kind of easy. So get to a control tie. You can also go away. Dude, if you have no stalling calls and there's short time left, I don't mind this. I don't mind kind of playing the game here. You know, I know it's stalling, but you'll get a stall call. But I want you to think of it like this. Don't feel weird about that. The goal is to win the match. You put the work in the whole match. You're winning, right? You're winning. You've put the work in. You've scored the points. Don't think just because you stall the last 10 seconds that you didn't deserve to win. You are winning the whole time. You know, the ref will penalize you with stalling calls, but if you put enough work in and you score enough points beforehand, it doesn't really matter. So know if you're gonna go for that stalling route where you're circling, definitely circle too. Kind of circle, push the head, stay in a good stance. Don't walk back straight, because you also want to stay in bounds. We talked about that earlier. If I'm winning and we're near the out of bounds here, I want to circle back in and get back to the center, okay? I actually really think it's an advantage too for the defensive wrestler to stay near to be near the out of bounds. If I'm up by points, even if Will shoots in, I can use the out of bounds to come out. So being near the out of bounds isn't that bad of a thing if they shoot on you. So if Will shoots on me and I'm near the out of bounds and I'm up by points, I actually like being here. Because not only can I defend the shot, but I can work him out and get us stopped him back in the match. Okay, but ideally, I'm gonna probably circle back in before he shoots and just eat that clock up. But again, realize how much time do we have left? How many stalling calls do I have? So if I already have one stalling call and I'm winning by 1 point, I'm not gonna back up. I'm gonna have to hand fight a little bit. I may even fake. Hey, you may not wanna shoot because you may not want them to score on you, but if you have to seem busy, hand fight, fake. Fake. You're up by points, but do more of this. You know, fake on him. That also will stop, makes it harder for him to set his shot up. So in neutral, it really depends on the scenario, but you're winning. You need to hand fight to your tie-up is a great option, where you have a tie-up and a wrist. Another great option is stalling, backing away, but more circling, pushing. If he pushes you out of bounds, circle back in. If you already have a stalling call and you can't give up another stalling call, or you're gonna lose, or you're gonna tie it up, add some fakes, hand fight a little bit. Circle, never back up. Circle, circle, okay? So that's my advice for neutral when you're up by points. Bottom, super simple. I mean, there's stuff, well, if I'm up by points and I'm on bottom, here's the biggest thing. You're up by points, you're on bottom, try to score, but do it without making any mistakes. So don't just sit here. I see a lot of kids try to stall, and then they just slowly get like half Nelson and pinned. Like, because they're not like focusing on preventing. They're focusing on like, please, 10 seconds left. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Oh, now I'm getting to put to my back. Hold on, please. It's like, still try to improve. So if I'm on bottom, I'm winning, short time left, I'm gonna try to improve, but it's not super important that I get out. So like, I'll keep trying to improve here, yeah. And if I get back down, not a big deal, but I'm gonna still try to improve. No, defend, be very defensive, but try to improve. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I'm playing. Like, and if I get the escape, I get the escape. But I'm not gonna be in such a rush to get out, because I might leave an opportunity to get cradled or pinned. And I'm not stalling 100%, because if you stall 100%, I've seen a lot of people get pinned because they're trying to hold on, especially if you have a lot of time in the match. Like a lot of people, they'll try and stall on bottom. They have like a minute left, and they're just gonna try to lay there, and they're gonna get stall, stall, stall. So be aware of the stalling call and how much time you have left as well. There's another thing I wanted to say with bottom. If you're on bottom and you're up by points. Oh yeah. Another little scenario, you're on bottom, you're up by points, but the other thing is, like, if you get the escape and they take you down, you're gonna lose. So like, you almost don't even wanna get the escape. You don't wanna go neutral, because you're up by only 1 point. And you're like, man, that's why you're trying to get the escape, you're trying to work, but it's not like, you may not even want the escape, but you're not stalling. If you don't want them to escape, you can use little things to keep them down, or to ride the timeout. For example, Will knows he's down by points, and he wants to go neutral, so he starts trying to cut me right there. Snag a leg, hold on, wait out the 10 seconds, cause a stalemate. Not a stalemate, actually, I want it to keep going. So like, I'll create a scenario for you. You're up by 1, it's 30 seconds left, Will's trying to cut me. So I don't want him to cut me, because that gives him a chance to win. So I'm gonna snag his leg here and hold on. Now when I'm here though, I'm not gonna hold on for a stalemate, because if I hold on for a stalemate, the ref, it gives Will another shot, right? So when I'm in here, I'm slowly working too. Always slowly working to score, even if I don't. Keep the scramble going. Keep the clock going. You don't want to stalemate if you're up by points. You want to keep progressing back to scoring. That's the same thing with bottom. I don't want a stalemate. I don't want to get turned. So even if you're on top, say, Will, and I want to keep trying to escape. I don't want to, if we get to say this position here, I don't want this to be called stalemate. I don't want to just hang out here. I want to still be progressing, slowly progressing. Because if I do get a stalemate called, Will might decide to just go neutral because the time stopped. Now Will has the shot to go neutral if he wants to. So hopefully you guys can pick up on those different scenarios. It gets a little complicated, but not too tough. And then top, you're up by points, ride him out. I'm going spiral. I'm coming here. And I'm hanging. If he comes up to his feet, I'm ready to mat return, bump him back down. Keep coming up, keep coming up. Yep, start coming up to your feet. I'm reducing to a leg. I'm hanging here for a second, hopping, but they don't want to cause stalemate, don't want to get called for stalling. Then I'll trip a little bit, boom. Control, hop back on top. We're near the out of bounds. We're near the out of bounds. He stands up to his feet. I'm hanging here. I can walk him out, but here's even better. Reduce. We gotta stay inbound, stay right here. Stay right on the line here, see this? Stay on the line, because you want the clock to keep going. Pull him back in, stay in here. You know what I mean? Like, you actually don't need to push him out because you want the time to keep going. Now, if they're about to get out, okay, walk out of bounds. But that's how I'm playing top. I'm reducing. I'm being stingy. I'm riding the person out. Keep trying to get the wrist. I know you're on top. That's a very big thing. Here's the big thing. If you're not a leg rider, do not throw a leg in with short time left if you're up by points. I think it's so funny that people will say, I'm not a leg rider. I only use leg riding when I can't turn the person or when there's short time left. If you're not a leg rider, that's the worst. Why would you ever throw legs in? One of the easiest things to do is reverse somebody who's not a leg rider who throws legs in. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Short time left, understand the different scenarios, and win the match.